Alright, let's take a look at every Premier League club and see what club hero basically went on to destroy their legacy there. Arsenal says Fabregas. Yep, says Fabregas had it all Arsenal, except trophies, obviously, which is probably why he left. Look, Fabregas was worshipped at the Emirates. For 6 years, he could have commanded a line of people the length of Leicester Square, purely just to queue up to kiss his feet. They loved him. He'd been at the club since 16, developed into a World Cup winner while still in North London, and then he chooses to return home to Barcelona. Fine, fair enough. Most fans understood that and didn't have a problem. And then 3 years later, he returned to England, returned to London, but not to Arsenal. Watching Fabregas being paraded just 7 miles down the road to Stamford Bridge probably made most Arsenal fans feel like getting sick in their mouth, especially considering the lad had previously said he'd never play for another English club. So watching him lift titles with the Blues, score goals against the club who nurtured him, yeah, they probably wanted to burn down his house. Aston Villa, Gareth Barry. I could have gone for the easy option and said Fabian Delph, but was he ever really loved at Aston Villa? Oh, this was the captain who led Villa to 15th in the league. Where's the goddamn statue? No, his legacy wasn't even a fraction of what Gareth Barry's would have been. Having played 12 seasons at Villa Park, 441 games, and having captained the club to 3 successive 6th place finishes, Barry could well have ended his time at Villa Park a club legend. However, let's not forget he spent the entire summer 2008 neglecting his captain's armband and refusing to train to push through a move to Liverpool. That rubbed some fans up the wrong way, as did swapping Villa for the riches of Man City the following season. Having spent the best part of a year banging on about Champions League football, here he was signing for a club who just finished 12 points behind Villa in the league. Bournemouth Matt Ritchie. Nobody has really messed Bournemouth around that much in recent times, but I'll go for Matt Ritchie. Yes, he only played 3.5 seasons with Bournemouth, but lads, he was a starter in both promotion winning teams, smashed home their first ever Premier League goal of the season against Sunderland. Club hero? Well, he would have been had he not jumped ship from their top flight status head first into the Championship with Newcastle. How embarrassing was that when your best player sees teams in the second tier as more enticing destinations? I think we can all agree, now that Ritchie has been converted into a left wing back at a club teetering towards another relegation, that he might have made the wrong call. Brighton, Leonardo Ulloa. It's not as if Brighton fans hate Leonardo Ulloa, far from it, but it was just sort of sad to see him return to Brighton, a broken shell of a man 2 years ago. Brighton fans didn't need to see this up close, whereas before he'd bang them in for fun, 26 goals in 2 seasons at the club, and then 4 years later, he returned to them on loan from Leicester, and honestly, he looked about as threatening as pig vomit. 1 goal in 4 months. Oh, never go back. Burnley, Robbie Blake. Maybe I'm being harsh here, but here's my rationale. Robbie Blake had 2 3-season spells at Burnley, finally helping them promotion in 2009, before bagging a winner in a famous win at home to Man United. Go on then, build that man a statue. Except the following year, he jumped ship to Bolton Wanderers, a club who just stole Burnley's manager mid-season, and were now viewed as the second coming of Satan. Anyone who would give Bolton, but more specifically Owen Coyle, the time of day following that, was instantly seen as a hate figure in Burnley. Chelsea, Frank Lampard. I'm sorry, I know he's Chelsea's record goal scorer and doing some good things as manager, but honestly, this man should be spat at in the street for even daring to link up with Man City in 2013. An absolute disgrace, and he should be airbrushed from the history of Chelsea Football Club for the good of the nation. Okay, no, don't have a meltdown, I'm not insane. I'm obviously joking, alright? I don't know what this fella's excuse is though. Chelsea, Wayne Bridge. I could have gone for Thibaut Courtois, who might as well have wiped his arse with the club's badge, but was he ever really a hero at Stamford Bridge? Wayne Bridge was, for no other reason than scoring a late winner at Highbury in April 2004 to propel Chelsea to their first ever Champions League semi-final. 6 years later, the man was getting booed from every corner of the ground for having the temerity to not shake their club captain's hand. How very dare he. These same fans probably wanted to see Anton Ferdinand shot in the street. Crystal Palace, Wilfred Zaha. Just wait until the day Wilfred Zaha does move on. Then all this frustration, this bottled up angst towards the club's best player will spill out from the terraces, I guarantee you. For now, Palace fans are having to swallow their rage to keep quiet so as not to offend their only player of any real top class quality. They're essentially like a short fat bloke too scared to speak out against his supermodel wife for the shabby way he's being treated, because deep down he knows he'll never find a more attractive partner. Zaha has essentially used his 5-year contract as a dish rag, demanded to leave, openly criticised his own teammates. If the likes of Patrick Van Aanholt were doing this, Palace fans would be sharpening the knives, but because it's Zaha, they'll keep quiet for now, before finally unloading their fury once the stroppy prima donna finally leaves. Everton, Ross Barkley. Wayne Rooney has proved that no matter how much you disrespect the Everton fan base, you can still turn things around in about 15 years when you're fat, washed up, and haven't seen your toes since 2006. So you never know, Ross Barkley might turn around in the future, but for now, Everton fans pretty much despise him. Having come through the ranks at Everton, being with them for 13 years, he finally storms out for Chelsea. Considering Everton consider themselves a top 4 rival of Chelsea's, I mean, God knows why, it's these sort of mid-season swaps that really tick them off. Leicester, RIYAD Mahrez. Look, I don't know what Leicester fans think of RIYAD Mahrez now, but surely he must have gone down in their estimations. There is a way to leave a football club with class and dignity like N'Golo Kante, not like RIYAD Mahrez. Having been plucked out of Le Havre in 2014, Leicester gave this man his chance. He helped them to promotion, to survival, and then the Premier League title. It was a wonderful little marriage, and then he proceeds to chuck his toys out of the pram and go AWOL in order to force through a move to Man City. Liverpool, Michael Owen. There were so many I could have chosen here, but I'm going to go with Michael Owen. Of course I am. Let's not forget that for 8 years he was a club hero at Anfield. This was a guy who scored over 150 goals for the club, won the Ballon d'Or there, single-handedly won an FA Cup final on his own. The move to Real Madrid might have pissed some off. His transfer to Man United in 2009 definitely sealed the nails in that coffin, as proven by the fact that he still gets booed at charity games, purely because including him in the Liverpool Legends 11 is a bit of a joke. How many club legends at Anfield end up winning the title for Manchester United? Not many, Michael. Man City, Joey Barton. Yes, Joey Barton was never really a club hero at Man City, but for a period, he was the club's only bright spark. How bleak is that when Joey Barton is all you can hang your hat on? It's safe to say nobody at Man City likes this man anymore, after he tried to beat up half their team in May 2012, doing his very best to chuck a live grenade into their title ambitions. Oh, and also the fact he swapped the club for Newcastle in order to win trophies. We all know what happened next. This was also the man who said he was lured by QPR's ambition. The next season, Newcastle finished 5th, while QPR end up 17th in the league. Joey, don't you ever get tired of being wrong? Man United, Carlos Tevez. Easiest choice in the list. You might say Carlos Tevez was never a club hero at Old Trafford, which would be a goddamn lie. Not only did he score 19 goals in his debut season, as Man United won both the title and the Champions League, ask most football fans and they will tell you that front line of Ronaldo, Rooney and Tevez was one of the most frightening in world football. And then he chucked all that goodwill in the bin by choosing to link up at Man City, cup his ears and then start displaying premature eulogies for his former boss. Newcastle, Kevin Nolan. Listen, I could have gone for Yohan Cabaye, a former hero who was roundly booed on his returns for Crystal Palace. That's usually what happens if you down tools and go on strike, but I'm actually going to go for Kevin Nolan. Yes, he probably hasn't completely soiled his legacy, but he's definitely soured it a little. This was a guy who scored 30 goals for Newcastle, including 18 as they won the championship title, but it was a hat-trick and a 5-1 demolition of Sunderland, which really cemented worship status. And then recently, he's just towed the party line, come out in defence of Mike Ashley, which to Geordies is like insulting their mother. We get it, Kevin. If you want a job at the club, just come out and say so. Norwich, Wes Hoolahan. Yes, I know Wes Hoolahan is treated as a god at Carrow, so I'm probably wrong on this, but he should have desecrated his legacy. This is a man who, after being plucked out of the lower league wilderness by Norwich City in 2008, quickly wanted to jump ship as soon as they hit the big time, demanding a transfer at Aston Villa, but most unforgivably of all, choosing not to celebrate against them. How disrespectful is that? And yet Norwich fans put up with this? I don't get it. Sheffield United, Paddy Kenny. Oh, Paddy Kenny. No, he was never very good. I just remember him as the fat lump who conceded 5 against Cyprus. But hey, he did spend 8 years at Sheffield United, winning promotion along the way, and then he tossed all that hero status in the bin with a sideways step to QPR in 2010. He was then labelled a money-grabbing traitor, having doubled his salary at a fellow championship club. You know, just a year after the Blades stood by him following a 9-month ban for failing a drugs test. What a grateful young lad. He'd go on to disrespect the hoops then, when he allegedly bombarded his replacement Rob Green with abusive texts after he conceded 5 in his debut. He'd also called his former employers a tin pot club. That must have been why they chose to sign a tin pot keeper, isn't that right, Paddy? Southampton, Virgil van Dijk. You can tell by the booing every time he returns to St Mary's. Southampton fans do not hold Virgil van Dijk in the highest regard. But why would they? Again, this Dutchman was given his Premier League break at Southampton and repays them with 6 months of sulking, refusing to train and demanding to leave for Liverpool. Tottenham, Sol Campbell. I was thinking about the likes of Dimitar Berbatov, maybe even Luka Modric, but then it dawned on me, of course, 100% the answer is Sol Campbell. Had he stayed at Spurs for the peak years of his career, he'd be held in the same esteem as Ledley King. The fellow would probably be a club ambassador these days. But no, instead, after 12 years at Tottenham and repeatedly assuring the fans he would be staying put, he then walked out on a free transfer to win a bunch of trophies at their most hated rivals. They hate him, understandably so. Watford, ODION IGHALO. ODION IGHALO was on course to becoming a club legend at Watford. He scored 20 goals in his debut season as Watford stormed promotion, then he netted 17 in the club's first season back in the top flight, and then he had his head turned. After links to both Man United and Atletico Madrid, he buckled under the pressure, scored just once in 18 games during the follow-up season before being spat out to China. West Ham, Dimitri Payet. Dimitri Payet was loved during most of his 18 months at West Ham, and then he seemed to ignore that 5-year contract he just signed, demanded a move back to Marseille, and yeah, refused to train. What a great guy. Wolves, JOLEON Lescott. For Wolves, it was tough to think of this one. I guess maybe JOLEON Lescott, having come through the ranks at Wolves, he jumped ship in 2006 for Everton, and then went on to play for sort of local rivals, West Brom and Aston Villa. It's probably a weak one, I know, but still, I'm doubting Wolves fans view him that well.